Tonight, Nancy Charles and Dr. Ernest Hilaire battle it out on social media. Leonard Montoute says he is confident that his track record as Gros Islet MP will clinch him the win in the next general election. And restaurant owner Marjorie Lambert says she will not be moved for Cabot. The details of these stories and more coming up.
This is the Hot 7 Nightly News with Lovelace and Amy Joseph.
Good night. It is Thursday, the 13th of August, 2020. Welcome to the Hot 7 TV Nightly News on Flow Channel 117, Kiss FM, the Caribbean Hot FM mobile app, and our Caribbean Hot 7 TV Facebook page. I'm Lovely St. Amy Joseph. Thank you for joining us. A comment by Nancy Charles on the Hot 7 TV Facebook page during live streaming of the talk show Keeping It Real has drawn the ire of Castries South MP Dr. Ernest Hilaire. The Director of Implementation in the Office of the Prime Minister questioned how Dr. Hilaire could have afforded to buy 2 Range Rovers on an ambassador's salary. The question points back to persistent allegations by the UWP that there was impropriety during the tenure of Dr. Hilaire as High Commissioner to the UK. The matter has even landed the parties in court. Dr. Hilaire, in response, in a Facebook post, stated, quote, "You will recall that Nancy and the UWP first claimed that I had stolen the government's vehicle. Then it was Jufali's vehicle. Now it is I could not have afforded to buy vehicles on an ambassador's salary, so it had to be money laundering." Unquote. He clarified that he bought a Range Rover on behalf of his brother, who was serving as a regional diplomat and had tax-free status. He also states that he took a loan, that should be his brother took the loan and sent the money for the purchase. Dr. Hilaire went further to explain that he later bought a Discovery Sport for himself using his own funds. He also launched a scathing attack on the UWP, stating that there are people in the party who have, quote, worked nowhere, could not afford to pay their debts, or held no such high-paying jobs, who were supposedly on a minister's salary but own million-dollar houses, condos, villas, trucks and buses, high-end vehicles, acres of land all over the island, shares in construction companies, yet you say nothing, end quote. And that battle there by Nancy Charles and Dr. Ernest Hilaire playing out on social media. In other news, Brant Jean, the brother of Botham Jean, grabbed headlines around the world and shot to international prominence after he hugged the former Dallas police officer, Amber Guyger, who murdered his brother. Following news that Guyger's attorneys are seeking an appeal to overturn her murder conviction, Botham's mother, Alison Jean, said it showed that Guyger was truly the devil and had hoped to play on the emotions of the family. But how does Brant Jean feel, given that he was the one who extended an olive branch to Guyger? He says his forgiveness does not mean that he supports an appeal on Guyger's part.
So just like my mother, I am against it. Even if we forgive her, it's still a despicable act. And it's us forgiving her is not us condoning the act that she did. It's still an act that she should have regret. But yeah, I'm against it despite forgiveness. Forgiveness comes after, but it doesn't make what she did right. It doesn't say that, hey, do it again. Forgiveness is just, it comes after everything. So just like my mother, I'm against the appeal.
Brant says he's not at all surprised that Guyger filed the appeal. And as for the online comments that have chastised the family in the aftermath of his mother's interview with Hot 7 TV, Jean says he does not tune in to the noise.
I believe I, myself, and many have explained forgiveness, and I don't know how much more I can do it. I don't care to do it any much more. But at this point, whatever people have to say, I mean, that's going to be their opinion. It's not going to affect my future. it's not going to do anything to me. I couldn't care less about what people have to say. I'm living a life, a wonderful life.
That was Brant Jean in his own words. Local restaurant owner Marjorie Lambert says she is getting ready to defend her establishment against whatever will come following calls for her removal by Cabot developers. She says she will not be moved, and with the law on her side, she claims she is the current leaseholder for the land on which the property sits. Her entrepreneurial success, she says, will not be hindered in the name of foreign investment. Jacques Wooding tells us more.
A local business owner is speaking out against what she calls the unsanctioned calls for the removal of her business from Casaba Beach, as she still holds lease in hand. She says she is not willing to move simply for the name of development.
They came here, and once they called my son, tell my son that they are coming here, they want to speak to me. And they came with that same Agnes Francis and telling me they gave me 125 US. 125,000 US. They will give me a piece of land, a lease for 20 years, and I'll take $50,000 US from it to build a restaurant. I asked him if he'd ever know how much money I spend for her. These people don't know how much I suffer walking from my home with a cooler and a bag, coming, and it was right by Trim Stable to come here. And I just don't get here. I get here with the St. Lucia heritage. You know, I had to wait 3.5 years before I get a lease.
She says with over 27 years of operation here on Casaba Beach, this is not her first tussle with a UWP administration. She notes that in previous tenures of their administration, she had faced similar circumstances. She says that she is now pursuing her legal options.
Yes, I'm taking action because I still have a lease. And then they cannot do that. They cannot do that just so. This is totally disrespectful. You know, not come in and tell me nothing, government, and just take your decision. No way. And you know what they told the Cabot? They already take care of me already. And nobody never come to me. The first time, they didn't give it to me because, well, it was St. Lucia Heritage. When Felix Sinister was there, when St. Lucia Labour Party was there, Philip Shapiro was the Minister of Tourism. Kenny Anthony was the Prime Minister. Then 2009, when Alan Shaste was the Minister of Tourism, and Stephenson King was the Prime Minister, they decided to end my lease. But the voice of the Lord heard, and the people of St. Lucia, something go wrong with maybe, I don't know. But I got my, when Labour Party got into power again, they renewed my list to me. And now UWP came back, they want me out.
Marjorie is calling on the wider public to stand with her in a fight for what she believes is the rights of the people. She has a message directly for the administration.
I want the people of St. Lucia to know that I'm not doing that for myself alone. I'm doing that for our people, our generation. I have grandchildren, I have great-grand, I have families, and we have the people of St. Lucia, they have their families, they have children. Where their children will go? A government without vision. They could have opened a national park. They could have done so many things there. And everybody would be happy. Everybody would make $1. And you know what? All my dollars will stay in St. Lucia, but the developers will not stay in St. Lucia. They will get a little job. That's it. You know? Sometimes, you know, and you can imagine, take the NIC money to put me out. I cannot understand that. I hope the people in cabinet, the women just like me, I don't believe they have any heart for their families. The only thing they're concerned is money. Money is not all, you know? Because your pocket could be full and you fall there, the money can pick you up, you know? But I'm leaving them to remember, we're living in a little country. Everybody is suffering, and they know that too. think about what they're doing before they do anything.
On Saturday and Sunday in the coming weekend, Marjorie is inviting members of the public to come join her at her business as they stand for her rights. Jacka Wooding, Hot 7 News.
Now, the Member of Parliament for Grosley has added his voice to the discussion when he appeared as a guest on the hot seat with host Crystal Riviere. He says although he was brought into the discussions for Cabot late, he has voiced his concerns to the cabinet. But in the same breath, he states that the developers and the populace will have to find common ground if it means development for the entire country.
A cabinet conclusion dated 20th July 2020 agreeing to lease the Queen's Chains properties to Cabot St. Lucia Inc. for 75 years has been met with much outcry from the St. Lucia National Trust and some citizens. The St. Lucia National Trust has stated its disapproval and disappointment with the decision, stating that the Queen's Chain belongs to the state, therefore to all the people of the country, and it should only be used for public works, embellishment and defense. The Grosley parliamentary representative Leonard Montoute was questioned as to his level of participation in the quote-unquote selling of St. Lucia's patrimony.
The Cabot development, I must say, as parliamentary representative, I'm going to tell you now, a lot of the discussion had taken place outside of my office as parliamentary representative. I was brought in very late in the day when I raised concerns about the fact that I'd been hearing so much that was happening and that I've not been involved. Now, I think that is a failure on the part of the planning department ministry. And I'm not speaking just for myself. As parliamentary representative, we are given a mandate by the people to guide and to steer the direction of the development in their area. I think we ought to be front and center in any discussion on development. That was not the case. When I was brought in, there were a few areas that were of concern to me.
Montoute says he has expressed all his concerns as the Grosley MP, and by all indications, Cabinet has advised that they will be taken into consideration. He stated that the issue with the vendor has been raised before, and from conversations with the relevant authorities, considerations are being made for her.
I have not had any conversation with Marjorie, nor have I had any conversation with the developer. It is my understanding that offers are being made to Marjorie to either pay her off or to remove her from where she is and to put her further down the beach. I think whatever discussions are taking place should be done within the framework of considering inclusivity, whereas you're looking at a development that will benefit St. Lucians, provide jobs hopefully, but that there is an entrepreneur, a St. Lucian, who was already occupying the space, that will look at how is it possible to have her encapsulated in what is going on.
The minister is well known for openly opposing any actions he believes will infringe on the rights of St. Lucians. He made it clear that he is not anti-development. However, he believes that certain patrimonial rights should be preserved.
I'm not anti-development, I'm pro-investment. However, I believe it must be married with our local interests and the benefit of our people. In no way should any development or investment deny or deprive our people of what is rightfully theirs. I think there are certain things that we are endowed with as a country by nature that should be preserved, and that we should not look for development or investment at any cost.
Montoute says he will continue to openly disagree with any policy that may seek to violate the rights of his constituents while trying to push for the development of Grosley. Reporting for Hot 7 News, I am Genevieve Gonzaga.
The St. Lucia Labour Party has announced the appointment of 2 new senators effective immediately. Former Mayor of Grosley, Terence Kent Skinny St. Clair, is a respected and well-known business professional with a track record of community work. The SLP says St. Clair will bring a wealth of knowledge and understanding to the deliberations of the Senate and contribute to the shaping of policies of the St. Lucia Labour Party. Lisa Jawair is a well-known media personality, entrepreneur, and social activist. the SLP says she will bring a fresh and exciting perspective to the issues that confront the country at this critical time. Joair and St. Clair will replace Joachim Henry and Jerome Gideon, who remain committed to the advancement of the people of St. Lucia and will divert their focus to playing a more integral role in the campaign of the St. Lucia Labour Party for the upcoming general elections. You're watching the Hot 7 TV Nightly News. Still to come, could Kamala Harris usher in a new era for U.S.-Caribbean relations if she becomes vice president? Concerns about the treatment of city vendors, and the CCC disputes the claims of a local vendor. That and more after the break.